Sharon, thank you, General. Thank you. Thank you for your decades of service already to the nation and for stepping up into this role. It's a tough role. We'll have lots of conversations in the days ahead, but they won't be in open settings like this. So I think it'd be helpful just for you to be able to articulate what do you see as the principal threats that NSA needs to be focused in on? As you look around the globe in the issues that are out there in this open setting, what would you see as some of the principal threats?
Yeah, thanks, Senator. My assessment aligns with our national security strategy and national defense strategy and how we articulate the priorities. Certainly from where I sit at U.S. INDOPACOM, day in and day out, China, Russia, North Korea, those are all critical threats that we pay attention to, varying degrees of how we characterize those and how we prioritize those. But I think it's pretty clear that those two state actors, certainly Iran continues to pose concern and threat to the nation. I would couple alongside with that, violent extremists will be an infinite problem, and I think increasingly narcotics and narco-terrorists.
Okay, thank you. I want to follow up on Senator King's question to you as well. I have a similar question dealing with how we prepare for a response and a deterrent. You would have the unique responsibility of preparing a portfolio for the president if we have a cyber attack to be able to hand to the president, here are the options. Then he has to obviously make the decisions on that, but you'll have the role of actually handing that to him and saying, here's a set of options. So my question to you is, what do you plan to do to be able to prepare that set of options? What are your boundaries and limitations for the options that you would hand to any president? And to say, these are the options that you have that fall within legal bounds, but that also are an effective deterrent.
Well, Senator, I think it speaks to how I would frame my priorities if confirmed for this in the initial approach. Obviously, making an assessment of where the organizations are at, but first priority is speed. Second one is scale. The next one is innovation, and then integration. We've got to move as fast as we can to ensure that we've got the right technologies, the right capabilities, and able to generate multiple options. We need to be able to scale those options, and not only just scaling within the size of the workforce, as we mentioned relative to Cyber Command size. Certainly, there's an approach by the department to address that. But I think increasingly we look at other partnerships as a means to scale. Innovation, as I highlighted in my opening comments, that is an asymmetric advantage, and that is something we as the United States do better than anybody. So we have to continue to harness innovation. As a leader, I would empower the workforce to explore, test, try, fail, and figure out what's working. And then ultimately, those capabilities and options have got to be integrated. They've got to be integrated across the joint force. They've got to be integrated in all domains, and increasingly, those options should be provided that enable us to integrate and pair those with other elements of national power.
Okay, it's helpful. You've been a consumer of some of the intelligence information that's come across your desk and trying to be able to prepare for operations. I'm a consumer of intelligence documents as well. I've noticed over the past 10 years among some of our agencies that the documents and the analysis has gotten safer and safer and safer in the way that it's written. Sometimes I read some analysis and I read it twice and think, this doesn't say a thing. This is supposed to be telling me something, and I can't tell what this is trying to tell me because it's written so safe in it. One of the challenges that I would have before you is at NSA and with your analysts and folks as they're gathering SIGINT to be able to make sure that the documents that are written and the reports that are done just say it bluntly, and that there is a sense of permission to say it frankly, even at times, and to not have a perception of being safe. I don't know if you've experienced some of the same things as you've read some of the intelligence documents in the past and some of the information reports, but I would encourage you to say it frank instead of safe when it comes out of your analysts. You don't have to respond to that one way or the other on it, because you'll have to be able to lead it. One last question that I had is a follow-up on what the chairman was saying on 702. I think what I'm looking for anything is clarifying for the American people the protections that have been put in place in statute to protect the American people, that no one is spying on them, but also making it clear that this is an essential authority that we have to protect the safety of the nation. I'm looking for not just someone who will stand up and say yes, we need that, but someone who will be an advocate for 702 to be able to explain it to people that need to hear it and to be able to articulate how the American people are actually protected by 702. Is that you?
Senator, if confirmed, certainly I would do everything I can to provide the best advice as we look to reauthorize or extend this, this critical authority.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.